Welcome back to Evil Popcorn. It is I, Mr. Popcorn, and we have something very special for you today, tonight, whenever children. But of course, I am not
Yeah.
alone. Who is here with me?
Mr. Popcorn, it's the Baron here with you, sitting here with quite an interesting looking backdrop behind me in the black and white, similar to a black and white backdrop behind you.
hmm hmm But before we get into all of that, Baron, how are you?
I'm well,
Yeah.
Mr. Popcorn. I was just at, just so that we date this exactly, I was just at the Oz Comic Con here in Brisbane. Had quite a nice little chat with DJ Qualls from the Supernatural TV show and Z Nation. Lovely guy. Lovely guy. So yeah, really nice little chat. Very positive and happy, which I like.
Yeah, shout out to you if you ever listen to this there, sir. Yeah, you do great work.
Yes.
And yeah, myself there, Baron. I've started up a new job. It's in an office. I need money. It's a lot, but I'm dealing with
Sure.
it. And otherwise, I've been thinking about the podcast there, Children of the Popcorn. We're going to do something different for a while at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to play the new release game at the moment. Anyway, letting that have a wee rest, a wee nap
Yeah.
for the
Everybody
moment.
does the new releases.
Everybody does the new releases, yes. What we've noticed in the past is we have said it before in a joking manner. We are Gen Xers, we're an older podcast, and we've noticed that the people who engage our audience, they like the older stuff. They like the more
Yeah.
historical approach. So we have decided to get really historical with it there, Baron. We're going back to what is cited as the first ever horror film from 1896. The English translation is The House of the Devil. That is not Ty West's film. But Baron, what is the French pronunciation?
The French pronunciation would be Les Maisons du Diable.
The House of the Devil, The House of the Devil by none other than Georges Méliès, yeah, or George
Correct.
Méliès, however you want to say
George
it.
Melly. George
George
Melly.
Melly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, now I have heard about this chap because I've studied film at university, so of course you're going to look at the this chap's works, particularly the Voyage to the Moon and the Fantastic Voyage. I believe
Oh
those are the
yes.
two titles there, Baron. This guy created film effects, pure and
Mm.
simple. He came from the theater,
Yep.
but he was other things besides a stage actor, filmmaker. He became, of course, he was a toy maker and a magician. He
Mm.
created trick films, trickery films.
Yep.
How would you explain trick films, Baron?
Look, it's really just entry level special effects.
hmm
But these films are designed to make you think you're seeing one thing, then they pause the recording, they move in a piece of prop or a person, and it makes it look like that person has just teleported in or that piece of prop has just teleported in or out. It
hmm
was uh, a sensation of the time to see something that wasn't just someone filming something and then stopping, bringing things in. Realistically, Georges Méliès is the great grandfather of special effects,
Yeah.
digital effects, CGI, all comes from here.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it was taking the smoke and mirrors of stagecraft and transposing it onto the screen. He
Yep.
is a theatre guy, though. And so when you watch this film, if you have not already, yes, go to bed and finish your popcorn and come back.
Yep.
It's available on YouTube. It's 5 minutes max. It's like 4 minutes
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a couple of watches because first time you've just got to kind of take in the 1896 approach. But
Yep.
then on the second time, look what they're actually achieving over 100 years ago. Yeah, what he
Oh
brought
yeah.
to the stage, to the screen. We would not enjoy the special effects, we would not have supernatural horror films
No, no,
whatsoever. Yeah,
no.
we would have nothing but realist horror, which is fine. We like it a lot, absolutely. But the genre would be not as rich and as expansive as it was today without Georges Méliès.
Yep.
And that's why this film is cited as the first horror film in retrospect.
Mhm.
Yes, they went back and looked at the film. They looked at the archetypes of the characters in this film. They looked at the imagery. They looked at how it's presented, the trickery, the appearing and disappearing, the apparition style, yeah,
Yeah.
of things. And they cited it as the first ever horror film. Do you think this is a worthy appellation there, Baron?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Mhm.
So I had a little bit of a look around on the internet for other stuff that might be earlier than this, and this is probably like there have been films with supernatural themes or horror elements in them, but
Mhm.
this one had special effects, and
Yeah.
this one had a relatively coherent story. I mean, modern storylines notwithstanding, it has a feeling of being filmed on a theater stage,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
fine. But we have a bad guy. We have people that the bad guy is affecting. He transforms from a bat into a person, mesmerizes people, makes things appear and disappear.
Mhm.
There
Mhm.
there are arguments for this being the first appearance of a vampire
Yeah.
on screen.
Yeah.
Uh,
In terms of a bat, a
yes,
transformation into a
transformation from a
vampire
bat.
bat. Yeah.
But I think,
And keep in mind, children, uh, Bela Lugosi is not playing Dracula for another 40
yeah,
years,
yeah,
30
yeah,
to 40 years. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Universal
100%.
monsters don't exist.
No,
German expressionism doesn't exist at this point. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But I think from memory, Georges wanted this to be basically the devil, Mephistopheles.
Okay,
Uh,
that's what I was wondering watching. It seems very much Faust.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, in
Faustian.
ways. Yeah.
There's elements of like sorcerer, magician,
Mhm.
all that sort of thing to it as well. But I mean, the title is very telling, like the House of the
Yeah.
Devil.
Yes, and we
It
do see the devil, and we see witches. We see, I don't
ghosts.
know if they're meant to be crusaders at that point, but there's certainly soldiers fighting for the Lord,
Yep,
definitely. And
yep,
so we see the devil, we see skeletons, we see a lot of societal fears
yep,
that's bolstered by the church. Yes, this is
yep,
1896, presented on stage there. And it's through a series of basically tricks to
yeah,
appear and disappear
yep,
throughout. And basically, it's a very small, sharp, concise battle between good versus evil because, of course,
yep,
good wins at the end. This is
yeah,
1896. The
yep,
soldier that you can see behind me, he pulls out a big white cross and he banishes the devil at the end.
yep.
And that is, of
Oh,
course,
spoilers.
we're not doing plot breakdowns. We already told you to go to bed. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
um, there's the woman, yeah. There's
yep,
who is seen as a witch. Then
yep,
she is seen as a hag.
yep.
They multiply. I thought they were going to do the three fates, the crone, the
Uh,
hag, but
hmm.
then they multiplied like gremlins
Yeah,
at the end. Interesting how they appeared as cloaked, hooded, almost Ku Klux Klan-like figures. Yeah, to put a
yeah,
modern interpretation.
yeah,
Yeah, before they became hags. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
yeah.
Um, what did you think of all the transformations and such, and all the symbolism implied within?
Look, for me, it's difficult not to view it through a modern lens. Obviously, that's where my eyes are.
Yeah,
A,
of
a
course
modern
so.
lens
Yeah.
is the way we're viewing it. So I was trying to put story elements into it that are familiar,
Mm,
uh, and
mm,
add tropes to it that are familiar. But what we've got to
hmm
remember with these sort of films is they created the tropes. These are where the tropes came from.
hmm
So it's because they didn't have anything to draw from like we do now. Like you see a Conjuring film, or you see what we did last summer film. Like you expect those little beats,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
this guy created them.
He created the beats. Yeah, yeah. He created the beats, absolutely. And this film pretty much is beat by beat, punctuated by the tricks. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
Shall I go through the transformations? Because it's a small
Well,
list.
one thing. Give me
Please,
one.
please.
I was chatting to the Pirate Queen about this earlier, and we were talking in general about horror. And an interesting question came up was what were the fears of the period that
Mm,
spawned this? And you could ask
mm,
this of any horror film. So you
mm.
go to, I don't know, Eight-Legged Freaks, for example. And like obviously the fears of that period were toxic waste and genetic manipulation.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
go to Jaws and it's fears of the deep dark ocean.
Yeah, and fears of municipal bodies being
Yeah.
completely inadequate because that
Yep.
was for the cops as well, and cop films and serial
Yeah.
killer movies, etc. back then. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what were the fears of this period that spawned this film?
Well, I'll do the trickeries, the
Yep.
tricks, and then we'll
Yep.
discuss that. Yeah, so
Sure.
I think it would be a good way to frame it.
100%.
Blah, 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 page. All right. So as you see, would you describe that they're at the vestibule of a castle, or would you say they're
Yeah.
actually in a church?
I would say, well, based on what happens later,
Hmm.
with the backdrop and that sort of thing, I would say I think it's meant to maybe be inside a castle. However, at one point, very close to the end, someone throws themselves off the back of the
Mm.
set.
Mm.
So it's possible it's meant to be more than one location.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so inside the castle vestibule, then you've got the battlements which they hurl themselves off, that sort
Yeah,
of
yeah.
thing, trying to create an illusion of depth in 1896.
Yep, correct.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it's
okay,
very
okay.
difficult with this, with the um film from the time to get a good idea of what the set actually looked like. So
Mm,
you can see elements behind Mr.
mm,
Popcorn's head there of what was obviously a trompe l'oeil painting to try and give it even more depth, like in the background. But
mhm.
because of the limitations of the film, it comes out as flat.
Yes, absolutely. And it's a distorted viewing because you've got all the elements of film from 1896. So didn't even know even how to store it correctly
No.
back then because you've seen film effects on Instagram. Now
Yeah.
watch this and see the real thing.
Yeah.
It's dirty and noisy AF.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's amazing
Yeah.
we have any of it left, actually.
Yeah. Important to mention the music. Now, they were called Funeral, the outfit, like it's a modern
Yeah.
classical interpretation of this piece. And that's pretty much, we're going to look at more silent films. We're going to look at the Universal monsters, all that sort of thing.
Yep.
And when we go through the silent films, what you'll learn is that there wasn't a designated, dedicated composer with his chosen orchestra that they work with. No,
Yep.
he, she. It is because it was just who was around, who was available, basically. They're like studio musicians for a solo music artist. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're available, you're working currently, you're on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian Fletcher might have an idea of the music that was played back then because he has been the one that in Brisbane that's been doing the Roaring Twenties cinema and the
Oh.
1900 cinema. So he might have an idea of what it was. But I
Oh.
just came up with a really cool term in my head for these podcasts, these episodes.
Mhm.
Historical.
Say that again.
Historical.
Okay. Okay. Why not?
Histhorrorical. Historical.
Okay. Okay.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. And also, shout out Christian if you're listening.
Yes.
You want to come on any of these? I will DM you actually, because thank you, Baron. That he's the best person I think in Brisbane to come along
Yeah.
whilst we're doing this approach. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The tricks.
Mm.
Bat turns into a devil. The
Yep.
devil conjures a cauldron with the help of an imp. Fair to say, yes,
Yeah.
we shall say imp. A witch appears from the cauldron. This isn't my interpretation. This is what I've taken online that this
Yep.
character is meant to represent. Yes. Imp with a book. We're talking a grimoire, a book of spells. The imp with the book and the cauldron disappears. Soldiers appear. Imp unseen by soldiers is haunting in the background, taunting in the background. One soldier by themselves on the stage, so to speak, freaks out. The skeleton, which you can see behind me, was a little bit of comedy here, a little bit of almost Three Stooges.
Slapstick.
Skeleton, huh?
Slapstick.
Yep. Skeleton appears and turns into a bat. The devil and the imp reappear. Imp forward rolls into a bag and vanishes. That was probably the
Yep.
most impressive trick.
Yeah.
Soldier goes to run. Now, white cloaked figures, there were three of them, hence why I thought they were going to do a fates thing.
Yeah.
They appear through
Are they
the
ghosts?
archway at the back. I don't know. What's your reading?
I had witches and ghosts in my notes. I think maybe they're supposed to be ghosts that the witches have conjured.
Hmm. Yep. What happens? Hold on. What happens next? Devil presents woman to soldier. That's the one singular woman, the woman from the cauldron.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then witch turns into hag and then
Hmm.
multiplies. It becomes one, then three. So
Yep.
you see, and it's gone from, say, it's gone as the cloaked figures, then the witch, then the hags multiplying.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if ghosts, but some sort of just symbolic representation of women, witches,
Yeah.
hag, you know what I mean? How men perceive. So, I mean, I think that's a fear. I think
From
that's
a
a
from a
fear.
budget and and staging perspective, I
Mm,
don't doubt that he only had access to a few people. So it's possible they were in w white robes or covered in sheets
okay.
because they'd already been seen on screen.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Um, to that end as well, one sec. Okay, because it talks about the actors in the film here. Emilia's film actors performed anonymously and no credits were provided. However, it is known that Ihan Dialsi,
Yeah.
a successful stage actress who appeared in many of Méliès films and became his mistress and later his second wife, plays the woman who comes out of the cauldron.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the
The
young
film
woman.
has, yep, the film historian Georges Sardou, if I have that correct, hypothesized that the devil in the film was played by Jules Eugene Legris, a magician who performed at Méliès Theatre, Robert Houdin, in Paris, and who later made an appearance in Méliès' famous 1902 film A Trip to the Moon.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So that's all that's known about the two actors. That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
So whether, yeah, I imagine some multiplying was going on, certainly when there was about 9 to 10 people on the
Yeah. Yeah.
screen there. Yeah.
If all the backstage people went, look, stick this robe over your head, and we're just going to
Hmm.
get you to walk around the stage in a circle
Yeah.
and then leave.
Given the budget, given the fact that this is something brand new that's being created, nothing major had happened before. That's not like there's an ensemble of people that you can call on who have done it before,
Yeah.
even to just consult. You know what I mean? I think they would have pulled
Yeah.
out all of the resources there. I think that's a
Yeah.
fair reading, absolutely. Okay, so the hags multiplied, the hags circle, very
Yep.
ritualistic style here. You've very much got like the occult versus the church. Devil haunts the soldier, taunts the soldier, and then soldier chases off the devil with the cross.
Yep.
So you've got the fear of the devil, you've got the fear of the occult, you've got the fear of
Yep.
witches slash women slash midwives. What do you see? What do you read
Look,
in terms of
definitely fear of the
fears?
occult, fear of the unknown. So this is 130 plus years ago.
Yeah.
Not as many people were educated. This would have been seen as probably transgressive to show images of the
Hmm.
devil on
Hmm.
screen. So this
Absolutely.
this would have been the equivalent probably of the midnight screening of of an R-rated film.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, and yeah, it was a much more religious society back then. So I would say this was probably seen as transgressive and edgy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, in a way that Hereditary was edgy in the
Yeah.
2010s. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Except for the one element, which is a dislike for me. Um, should we get into our likes and dislikes?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so what we're doing, children, with these films, how did you say it before? Historical?
Historical.
Historical. We're doing three likes. Yep, and
Yep,
then two dislikes. So we're going to
yep.
start with the dislikes, then we'll go to the
Okay.
likes, more likes at the end, keep it positive.
Yes.
Because films are hard to make, certainly in
Yeah. Oh yeah,
1896.
much more difficult.
Um, I'll go first since I'm
Sure.
talking. Okay. I like the overall aesthetic of the film. Yeah, I like the overall aesthetic of silent films in general. I like the noise. Um, I like yeah, I just like the look of the film grain itself
Mm.
because it's old and it's something that we don't have and don't use anymore. It has that how do you say the adjective
Antiquarian.
of it? Sorry?
Antiquarian?
Yeah, antiquarian. I think that's the adjective of
Yeah.
something that is an antiquarian look and feel to it, which I just vibe with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, And I liked the trickery of the film. I've talked about the effects and what they've built up to today, and we enjoy what we enjoy today in horror and other special effects films
Mm.
because of this guy, and couldn't be more grateful for it. Certainly for the style of imagination that he's bringing in at such an early developmental stage as well. There's a
Yeah.
sense of whimsy to it. There's a surrealist feel and approach throughout all of his works as well. Hmm. And I did enjoy the archetypal nature of the characters because any battle between the church and the occult is
Yeah.
going to interest me. Yes, I like
Sure.
religious horror. Yes,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
can see this as a foundation for religious horror as
Oh,
well.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the dislikes. Yes, it really had to be brought from stage to screen, from literature to screen. What else did they have to work with? Something has to come from somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing is, they brought the melodrama of the 19th century, of the 1800s with them. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, and I get it. Yes, throughout the 1800s, there was nothing but the melodramatic approach to theatre. Yeah, that was the standard. That was the zeitgeist. You didn't have the chance to do off Broadway works. Sure, people may have been doing them in huts and caves or whatever. No one was seeing it. No one was seeing
No.
it, as far as I know. As far as I know. So the melodramatic approach to the acting had to come through.
Yep.
But then, of course, stage acting changed. The realism came into play. You know, Ibsen brought in the Doll's House, etc., etc.,
Yep.
and so that was felt in film as well. And then acting. I mean, the story of acting developed. The development of acting in film is something unto itself because you're looking at about 30 years of this style. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That
correct.
this, I mean, it helped create a style seen throughout silent film acting pretty much until the 30s. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's just not for me. I get why it's there. It has to be there. It's just not for me. Do you want to give us your dislikes there, your two dislikes there?
Well, see,
Your two dislikes. I don't know if
yeah, two
I think I
dislikes.
started with likes. My
So
apologies, but
good.
go ahead.
No, no,
Yeah.
because you do your likes, and then we do your dislikes, then we do my dislikes, and then we do my likes, and we still
Okay.
finish.
Okay. That works. That works.
Um, I think my problem is my dislikes come from something that's out of the control of the filmmaker based on the limitations at the time. But okay, I dislike that we didn't know who the people were.
Hmm.
Like it would have been nice to have maybe a subtitle on the bottom if they could do that, or the
Hmm.
interstitials with the
Hmm.
language on them. I don't know whether they were doing that yet at this point.
I don't know. Yeah.
Probably not. So it's
Probably
probably
not.
something that was outside of the control of the production. But I still didn't like not knowing who they were and not knowing what they were saying. So there was
Mm.
obviously a narrative.
Mm. Yeah.
And I didn't like how short it was. It felt really rushed.
It did. Yeah. Yeah. It could have been longer. The beats between the tricks could have been stretched out for longer, fleshed
Yeah,
out more so. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Uh,
My likes.
Mm,
Look, there were a couple of cuts that were beautifully edited. You mentioned one before, which was the roll into the bag and then the bag disappearing.
mm.
That was great.
Yeah, yeah.
And a couple of the cuts where the Cavaliers or whatever they were being poked from either side of the stage with the pitchfork. Loved
Mhm.
that. Beautifully done. And I really liked. I didn't pick. I had to go back and watch. I didn't pick when the background that's behind you there changed from that flat trompe l'oeil picture to the parapet that a character then jumps over. Like I was not expecting
Yeah,
that character to jump over the back of the set.
yeah,
It surprised and delighted me.
yeah, yeah. Creating a sense of depth, different
Yeah,
locations. Again, early film techniques are being founded.
yeah,
Yeah, are being created in this
yeah.
film. Yeah. Um, is that all your likes and dislikes?
I like the costumes as well. I really liked it
Yeah,
was
okay, cool.
felt very much like a community theater performance.
How did you find the static camera, single set and single frame throughout as a 2025 viewer of a
Okay,
genre
so
film? Yeah.
limiting, but the issue is I understand that's all they could do.
Mhm.
So while if this was a modern film, it it wouldn't be it'd be a YouTube short. It wouldn't be
A student film.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Or like someone videoing their kids' community theater
Yeah.
performance.
The two kids I live with, they're learning editing at the moment at school, and
Yeah.
they've been learning how to do tricks, the appearing and
Okay.
disappearing gimmick. Yeah, with
Sure.
editing. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, again, 1896 kids in 2025 learning these tricks, learning how
Yeah.
to edit like Méliès back in the day. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that is just it is what it was back then.
Yeah.
That's not a negative.
No. No.
And you pointed out with the use of the paintings, yeah,
Yep.
in the background, the switch with those to create that sense of depth. Considering that there's one guy on a camera, if you've seen Shadow of a Vampire or other films where they're cranking that, yeah, yeah. Considering that to create depth with that, you don't have, three camera setup, that sort of thing. They're not about to say cut and switch the setup or anything like that. There's the one
Yeah.
setup. But to have that innovation in 1896, it's genius. The guy was a
Yeah.
genius. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So we're going to rate it. How do you rate an 1896 Georges Méliès production of The House of the Devil Baron out of
Well, okay, so
five?
the ratings have to be, they have to take into account when it was made, that sort of thing as well. So look, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a bit of fun. I
Hmm.
wouldn't have felt bad watching it in the theater. I did watch a bunch of the Georges Méliès films at a festival once, and look, they're fun. I'm struggling to do this out of five, like from like a
Yeah.
our normal rating scale, but taking into account when it was made, how it was made, that all bumps it up because like I I didn't feel bored. I didn't click away from it. So let's give this a 3.5.
Yeah, same, same.
Yeah.
Because of everything that you've said there, you've really got to put yourself into
Yeah.
1896, into
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
resources that were available, and to look at what this guy did with the resources. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, this has led the way for Citizen Kane. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Dracula and
Hmm.
Nosferatu and
Hmm.
this is the merest hint of the beginnings of the DNA of the modern horror film.
It really is. It really is. And I see why it's cited as such. It's been given in retrospect, that title,
Yeah.
definitely. And I'm
Yeah.
glad that it has, yes. And that's from 1896. Keep that in
Yeah.
mind. 2025.
Nearly
Um,
130 years ago.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if Weapons is still on top of the box office, but it was there for about a month. Yeah.
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 So. Thank you, Georges Méliès. Is definitely a 3.5 out of me. This is very satisfying.
Yep.
And I look forward to going into more silent films and more classic
Yeah.
monster movies, etc. If you have any recommendations, certainly for the unknown deep cut stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely let us know because that's what we're really interested in general, the historical approach and the deep cut approach.
And
Because everyone else is doing the new release on the day. I don't
yeah.
know how deeply you're looking into the film if you're releasing it on the day, but you do
Yeah.
you, people.
Yeah.
You do you. Yeah.
And look, anything that we might not be able to find, like if you've got a particular favorite
Mm,
historical film,
mm.
shout it out, send it to us. We're more than happy to have a look at it. Obviously, if it's difficult to find, we might need might need your help with where it's streaming or where you can find it. But
Yeah.
yeah, by all means, if you've got something that's a particular love of yours, send it in. We're always more than happy to have a look at it. And if it's something different than anyone else has looked at, great.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets our stomach rumbling the most.
Yeah,
Fits our flavor profile the best,
yeah,
definitely. Yeah, yeah. Definitely recommend it if you're into film, if you're into horror, you want to see its
yeah,
history. If you're into silent film, maybe you don't know this one, definitely check it out. Again, it's on YouTube. The
yep,
House of the Devil, yeah, 1896. Just put that in, but otherwise you're going to get Ty West.
yep,
I wonder if that was intentional. Probably. Ty knows his
maybe.
film. Yeah, Ty knows his film.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely watch it if you're into anything I just mentioned. It is highly recommended by Popcorn
Yeah.
Podcast.
And if you count yourself a lover of cinema, you have to go back and watch this stuff
Yeah, you do.
because
Yeah.
it's all well and good to sit there and watch something that was, recorded on a Red 10
Mm,
super digital
hmm
big platform like film with like drones and camera trucks.
Saturated neon colors, etc., etc. Yeah.
Like that's great, but that comes from here.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. This is creating electricity with the potato.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the potato looks awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, So we've talked about what we're into, what we're going to be doing, in
Yep.
general next, but specifically, what are we doing next week, Baron?
We're gonna do Psycho 3.
Yes. This one, Norman Bates, what's his name? It's just left my head. Anthony Perkins.
Anthony Perkins.
Anthony
Yes.
Perkins directed this one.
Yes.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
did.
this is a strange one, but it's very entertaining. I do like it. But we're doing it again, the deep cut approach, the off the beaten track,
Yep.
away from the shiny new objects.
Yep.
And you guys loved Psycho 2. Definitely
Yep.
got a good engagement, so we're going to go back to it. Yeah.
And look, you guys know the plot. We're not going to do the plot.
Mhm. Go
If
watch it first.
we'll watch, but yes, watch it first, and
Yes.
then come and listen to or watch us.
Yes. And once we've broken it down and you feel that we've missed anything and there are plot details you think really need discussing,
Yep.
engage with us online at Evil Popcorn Pod. Yes.
Yep.
This isn't about clicks. This isn't about clout. This is about conversation, good film criticism and conversation. And that's why we've opened up this pathway into the past. Is that fair to
Yep.
say, Baron?
100% correct.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Popcorn.
Cool. Cool. Thank you. All right. So, that's what's next. Plug it up, Baron. What have you been up to? You've been busy.
I've been busy. I've had some theatre shows. I've been to the Oz Comic Con convention. That was fun. But look, my usual plugs: Act React Theatre, Improv Queensland, IFWG Publishing, and Supernova. I'll always shout all of those out. I haven't got any particular shows coming up. If we've got any followers in Townsville, the Pirate Queen is going to be in a theatre sports show at the North
Cool.
Australian Festival of Arts. Go along and see that. Yeah, and to the wonderful listener that came up and said how much they enjoy the podcast to me at the Conjuring. Uh, Shout out to you. If I'd had a pin, I would have given one to you, but I didn't even think to put one in my pocket. But yeah,
Um, Comment wherever, let us know your name. We'll shout you out.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you've got a movie, let us know. Hey, if you want to come on and talk about it with us, do
we're
so.
happy to.
Absolutely. My shout outs. Ooh, things have changed a little. Um, I will shout out New Farm Cinema because I got to see, we both went to see the new Toxic Avenger. Definitely worth seeing.
Oh, such a good
And
movie.
The Longest Walk, we're going to touch on it because I think this is a film for both of us there, Baron.
Yeah.
Definitely being
Yeah,
our
yeah. I
age,
saw
being
it.
Stephen King people. Yeah.
Children, if you count yourself a fan of Stephen King, go and see the damn thing. Go and see The Long Walk. You will not regret it.
That's my next cinema viewing. Absolutely. That's where I will next be seated is for that film. I think that's the most important film to watch at the moment
Mm.
in terms of horror and society. Um,
Oh,
uh,
yes.
yeah. So, yeah. We're with you, children. We're not going to go into it, yeah, because it's another whole thing, and this is about having a good time.
Yep.
But we feel very similar. It's not right, and doing something like that, whatever the situation, it's not
Yep.
how good humans this
Uh,
act. That's all.
uh,
You want to have a good time though, and come talk to us about, come talk with us, listen to us about decent people making decent art. That's all I'll say. Yeah, yeah.
yep.
So yeah, Psycho 3 is coming out and Ipswich Little Theatre. Go check them out as well as New Farm Cinema, and we'll touch on The Longest Walk. I think
Yep.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I've enjoyed this, Baron. This has been good. Yeah,
Good.
I've liked
Yeah.
this. Yeah. No, I'm peaked with this and
Thumbs
I'm
up.
keen to do more. Absolutely thumbs up to you. And I think we should wrap it up. And what should we tell the children there, Baron?
We should tell the children, go to bed. Go to bed, children.
Or a little imp will jump out with millions of hags behind you and just throw
Okay.
you off the battlements. Yeah. Bye bye.
Oh, I love it when you're evil. This is me at my most evil. You're evil.